Hi everybody, welcome back. Continuing on with our theme of lexical resource in this section, we're going to focus on word formation in this lecture. So as you can see there, success, successful, successfully, succeed. And those are the words we're going to focus on as an example to help us move into this lecture. So first of all, word classes. Let's look at those words again. Success, successful, successfully, succeed. What do you notice about these words? Well, hopefully you realize that each of these words has their root, which is success, in common, but they all vary in their form, in their class. So each of these words is a different class of word. Which one is which? Well, we have success, which is a noun. We have successful, which is an adjective. We have successfully, which is an adverb. And we have succeed, which is the verb. If you want to succeed in IELTS, it's very important that you are capable and competent with word classes first and foremost, and word formation secondly. And that's what this lecture is going to focus on. So to use all of those words together, in order to be successful in IELTS, you need to succeed in using word formation. Only then will you find success. So can you successfully modify these words? That's what we're going to look at. We can modify all of these words by way of word formation. And word formation can come in three different kinds. It's all about the modification of base words by way of prefixes, suffixes, and compounds. And we're going to look at these things in turn, starting with prefixes. So prefixes, what are these? Prefixes are bits of language which are added before the base or stem of the word. You should recognize a couple of these examples here. Unsuccessful. Here, un represents remove, reverse, or not. Underperform. Under here means less than or beneath. Overestimate. So over here meaning too much. You've estimated too highly in this example. So you can research prefixes and use these to boost your score in lexical resource. Let's give you an example about a decent enough sentence, but one which we can improve by way of prefixes. Teenagers who do not agree with their parents. Beginning of a sentence. How could we improve that? Teenagers who disagree with their parents. You may think this looks quite simple, but that's a good thing. If you think it looks simple, then just remember to apply it to your essay, and this will help you score highly in lexical resource. Bear in mind that there are a huge number of prefixes in the English language, far more than can be stated here. So make sure you do your research and look up prefixes after the lesson today. After prefixes, we can look at suffixes. Whereas prefixes change language at the beginning of a word, of the stem of a word, suffixes will be added after the base of a word. And these suffixes are usually added to change the class of word. So remember the word success. Think about this. Success, we could add full onto the end of success. That's our suffix, full. And forget, full. So if we add full onto the end of a word, we can often form an adjective. Successfully, crucially. Ly can form an adverb from an adjective. Widen, lengthen, simplify, clarify. So n and if I can form verbs. Whereas terrorism, sexism, ism can often be used to form nouns. This doesn't always work. You can't just be adding suffixes, random suffixes to random words. You do need to check with a good dictionary, but it's good to know that you can create these words if necessary. Again, research suffixes, very important. You do your research because there's many more here than the ones I've highlighted. And you can use these to boost your score again in lexical resource. So again, let's have a look at an example. One advantage of exercise is that it makes your body stronger. It makes your body stronger. How could we use word formation to improve this? One advantage of exercise is that it strengthens your body. You may think this looks simplified in a way, simpler because we've used fewer words, but actually that is a good thing. You want to be concise with your language, and we can be much more concise with our language if we know how to use suffixes appropriately. Now, the other way we can think about word formation is with something called compounds. Now, compounding is the linking of two or more base words to create a new word. For example, heart breaking. You've got the noun with the verb. Often, the first word identifies a key feature of the second word. Let's have a look at some examples. They're most commonly found in nouns, but they are found in all types of word classes. For example, here are some nouns. Air conditioning. The air modifies the conditioning. Blackboard. The black modifies the board. Full moon. Adjectives. Full fat. Spine chilling. Seasick. These are all adjectives created from two base words. Some verbs here. Babysit. Color code. Proofread. Notice often with the verbs we're going to stress that first word. And adverbs. You've seen these ones before, but these are also adverbs created from compounding words together. Nevertheless. Thereby. Good-naturedly. So lots of different words we can create from compounding. Unfortunately, I often get this question, there are no specific rules regarding when to use hyphens in words, when to use dashes. So when in doubt, you will need to consult a good learner's dictionary and just try to memorize that word. Memorize the words that use hyphens, memorize the words that don't use hyphens, and memorize the words that are just joined together without hyphens. Unfortunately, there are no rules there. So although this is not the longest lecture, it's still a very important lecture because it's such a simple way to improve your score in lexical resource.